Ohayo gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbawa, guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend, guten Nacht, buenos dias, buenos noches, buenos tardes, bonjour, bonsoir, bienvenue, ahoy, akosamash, annyeonghaseyo, assalamu alaikum, hey, hi, ho, hola, ole, Mr. Sensual kicking on the door. Good morning, everyone. Early morning streaming. It's early, it's morning, we're streaming, we're here, it's happening. As promised, taking a brief detour from the Binding of Isaac and try to cover some of these other games that are kind of coming out. This is not the full version of RP7 that was supposed to launch. They're describing it as a roguelike slot machine. But the demo is available, so I figured we'd try the demo. The demo has been fighting with me and trying to get it to stream right, so I don't even know if any audio is going to come through or not. So this is all experimental, and it's also it's not like a very user-friendly experience. You fire it open, it's like, I'm going to take over your whole fucking screen, and then you're going to do this tutorial. There's no options. There's no escape. There's no nothing. You will do the tutorial. It takes over your computer, the way I would almost expect, a virus to do it. No, you're doing this now. You're not doing it. Old pop-ups that would be, the full frame, right? When it'd be, they take over. It's, you have a virus. You Trojan detected. Trojan.32.exe. We have you need to, like that. The game almost does it like that. There's no way to get out of it until you start, engaging with it on its terms, and then finally gets to the point where you can, it'll accept the escape button to go to options to make it be windowed, and then it fired up full screen again. So I somehow got stuck with this weird control scheme of SDF space JKL. I'm guessing it's like home row shit or something like that, but you control it with the keyboard. So this is going to be a fun experiment. We'll play that for a little bit. Super Tax City, which is another game I've been looking at, which is a roguelike deck building, city planning, taxation game, which sounds ridiculous. That's has a demo, but it doesn't, the button doesn't do anything in Steam. You can click on it. You look up Super Tax City. It's in Steam. There's a download button. Click on it. It doesn't do nothing. And then I even chose right click on it and open a new tab, and a little Steam logo's there. It's spinning. It doesn't install anything, so I don't know what to do with that. So I have a fallback plan, which is something I haven't touched in a year or two. Playdate. So if you're not familiar with the Playdate, I'll talk to you about the Playdate. I pre-ordered these the day it was announced, because I dig Panic Software. I like Teenage Engineering. We'll talk about it more, and then it took forever for me to get mine, and then I played with it a bit, and I loved it, and it got backburnered. The real Monty Python is here as well. She's second in. He's second in. They're second in. I backburnered it, so I'm gonna dust it off here today. And I fired it open last night, and there was 112 updates, and things kept changing. So there's probably more updates, but there's at least a couple games I'd like to show you guys, and a couple games I'd like to try. So it's a good reason to do it. But we'll get into that. I need 5 more minutes of bullshitting. I like to give 10 minutes to get everyone a chance to hop in here. Mr. Central and the Real Monty Python are early or punctual, but I know some people come in late. Went to the Renaissance Festival finally. I mentioned that before. Went to this past weekend. Never been to one before, and I was blown away by it. It was actually really, really cool. The Renaissance Festival in my city is apparently half an hour from my house, and always has been. And as kids, we would go to whatever we could. We'd go to county fairs or night markets or whatever they would have, just for stuff to do, entertaining things to do. And even as adults, I'll take my wife to oh, this area, they're having an Italian festival, and you get on, okay, you go to the Italian festival, or this is the St. Anthony or St. whatever parade, or oh, we'll go do that, and then oh, this is the Japanese the Japanese Appreciation Society, and you'll go down there, and it's usually the same thing. It's 3 or 4 those pop-up tents, those big tents like that, and there's people with tables out there, and then some people are selling Etsy shit. Right, and then maybe someone's there selling window blinds. There's a dude there, or the cable company's there trying to get people to sign up for internet service or whatever. And then like yeah, then it's pizza. It's Italian, so here's a couple pizza trucks, and here's a taco truck as well because they got some food trucks to show up, and that would be kind of it. And no shade thrown at that. Like I could imagine organizing shit like that must be hard, but that's kind of what we get. Even not too far from us, there's an alien festival because apparently aliens landed there, and you go there and it's nice. They have a parade and they have all this stuff, and it's they do a show. They do a show. Did you get the turkey leg? We'll get to the turkey leg. They do a show and it's neat, but for the most part, it's the same kind of stuff. So I thought the Renaissance Festival was going to be that with bodkins and doublets and shit, and like dudes with like wooden rapiers. I thought it was going to be the same thing, and we get here and it's highly elaborate village, like built into the woods. So you walk through the initial gates, and there's food, and they're selling wooden swords and stuff. They're expensive, and there's stage shows, and they're doing knife throwing, and there's like, oh yeah, you can go down to the Pirates Cove, and I went with my wife, and I wanted, they had beef stew in a bowl, and I wanted that. They did have the turkey legs. I did not buy a turkey leg though. I wanted the beef stew in a bowl. It was sold out, so she got a chicken wrap, and I'm like, oh, there's steak on a steak in the Pirates Cove. So we walk past the stage and down across this bridge, and it's all forest. You're completely like in the woods, and all of the shops are like these little standalone buildings that are like well crafted and built and painted, and they have like filigree work, and they have it looks period appropriate. And after about 5 to 10 minutes, like it's like fucking Disney World in here, like with just the amount of like detail and attention. And people would have mobility issues. I could imagine it'd be a real challenge for it, but it's like it's in the woods. So you're like, there's over hills and there's tree roots and stuff. It's all sort of beaten down, but it's all like all these stages, and the crossbow shot a watermelon with a crossbow, and it was super rad. And there was a dude playing bells, like these big church bells. He must have had 100 of them on a piano. It looks like he made himself. It's all like beat up wood and cast iron. And he's sitting there with his mask like the Phantom of the Opera. And they had mead tents giving away samples, and then they had fire breathers. And it was amazing. It was actually tremendous. And I'd say 50% of the people were wearing some type of costume. My wife was always big in the cosplay, so I try to keep that in mind. We loved to go to Dragon Con, which was a comic book convention in Atlanta, and a lot of people dress up for it. So we want to at least put some effort into it. On a scale from 1 to 100, we're usually good for no less than 20. Like we're not going with nothing, but we're not going hard. So I got her like a peasant dress, and then I wore like my Japanese work clothes. It looks like period clothing, right? Because it's not tailored like Western clothing. So you can, I'm a monk or whatever. You give a fuck. But people were like really elaborately well done, over the top stuff, and it wasn't just like typical fantasy tropes. There was a fucking dead ass Brent Spiner, Mr. Data walking around. Like he did a bang up job. One of the few people like, dude, I gotta take a photo of you. Like, and he just fucking Mr. Data walking around randomly. So I don't know if that's just our Renaissance Festival or if that's like typical. Never been. For 20 some years, I would happily go just because it was rad. Yeah, beer's a little pricey, food's a little pricey, but it's event pricing. It's not crazy. It's not like Disney World prices. And maybe next time we'll get the turkey leg. I'm not a big turkey dude. Never was. There's a way we make turkey my city is famous for called Turkey Devonshire, where it's roasted turkey, a cheese sauce, and bacon on like toast points. I'll eat the shit out of that. But like a turkey leg is... Jed Levy, good morning. Thank you for stopping by. As we cross this 10th minute, so everyone had a fair chance to hop onto the stream before I started actually doing something. My bullshit. I'll wrap up by saying, check out your local Renaissance Festival. Apparently they can be rad. Way better produced than anything else I've run into, like zombie festivals or whatever, like horror convention. Fuck, they blew them out of the water. Better than game food prices? Better than a game food prices? Probably. I would go ahead and say that. All right, so as promised, as threatened, as alluded to earlier, this is going to be RP7, and like yeah, apparently it's a slot machine. So let me know if you hear any of this. I don't know if there's any music, but you guys picking up on this audio? You guys are getting that, right? A little click click. All right. Okay. There's no background music whatsoever. But I think you're getting it. I'm looking at my view meter, right? I'm looking at my meter, and it's peaking. So I'm assuming you guys are getting the audio, and I'm assuming it's coming through. So let me know if you some $10 for Schneider's hot dog and a tip. That's not my favorite. Speaking of tips, like the dude's doing like flaming sword swallowing and like throwing flaming knives, and he come around, it's like, hey, would you like to tip us? We have these enamel pins. Like, I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, so I got a pin that says swallow responsibly with a skeleton swallowing a sword for like $10. Sure. Like, that's my idea of tipping. Like, I usually give someone a tip anyways, but they're like going to give you something back. It was rad. But yeah, beers were like $7. It's a little brutal, but a lot of fun. All right, it's been so long since I've seen a human first time here as we wrap up my Run Fair podcast. But look, we're appropriate. Oh, the thing we missed is there's a cutscene where this dude, Swordy McSworderson on the left-hand side, he chased a frog down a well, and it looks like he's wearing some sort of frog armor, or frog mail as we speak. First time here. What a headache. Where am I? Oh, hi. Did you see a little froggy? I'm digging this merchant, though. He looks cool. If you're looking for the red blushing frog, it went into the door in front of me. We're wearing his armor, though. All right, so he moves away, and these flip. And this is as far as I've gotten. I got to this point before when I fired up initially and was able to hit escape and change my settings. I don't know why it's flashing this black and this sort of... what am I supposed to do here? Space JKL. Okay. Spin each slot to take a chance on finding what you want. Alright, so no shields. Spin any slot when you're not stepping on it. So I don't need health, I need shield. Ask me what the hell I just did there. Alright, so... there are wild rats here, so please catch them. Keep the golds that come out as you hit them. All right, so I guess you're moving left to right. So this is like, it's not quite like Crossbow, the XD arcade game where your adventure goes left to right, and you have to like shoot the shit between them, but instead you're picking what's on the path between you and them. Okay. So let's kill a rat. Kill the rat. Kill the rat. Kill the rat. Heal up. Alright. So, do I want to get as many rats as possible? I feel like I might. Alright, hold on. Rat. Rat. We taking any damage? Nope. Rat. Rat. Rat! More rats! Oh, empty. Okay. There's a chest over there. It requires 70 G. Luckily, that's all the G's I got. I've been stacking G's here the whole time. Alright, so... this is... yeah, armor, health. We'll have a little bit more health. Chest, and then we're max health, so if I can get this S key... yes. You know what? This could be played with like a fucking Mahjong controller. Like in a Japanese arcade. That's what this is reminding me of. I wonder, I know I don't have one, but you know what? I should get myself a Mahjong controller now that you point that out. Choose the item you want. You can check the information by pressing the button on each slot. So one is, I guess, an armor up and one's a magic ring. I'll always start with the magic ring. Increase critical rate for 5%. Increase it to 5%. Increase it by 5%, I understand. Increase it for 5%, I don't follow. Level 1 gives 1 bonus shield after getting 2 shields in a row. 3 for 2 shield. That seems good, but that seems contingent on me actually getting the shields. I would rather take an increased crit. Oh god, I poisoned myself? I poisoned myself. Shit. Alright, you got used to it right now. I need to go. You should find your frog soon. Definitely saw it. Take care. Alright. So this is also like a speed... type thing. Critical hit. Critic. And then L, we want to change to L. And then we come back, we're going to want to get some shields. We got health now. Shit. Shit. We don't have enough. We don't have enough. We can't change it. Okay, hold on. Hold the fuck on. Alright, this is fucking hectic. Okay, I feel good about that. Gold. So we have enough gold we can make the current round. Let's do shield. Don't want the poison. So shield, 5 gold. Potion is worthless right now. Attack that dude. Now a shield. Now buy the chest. Yes, J. And then get me either the blood pack, increases 1 health while equipped. That sounds pretty good. It interrupts your movement once. Health up. Alright. So, get rid of him. Get rid of... Oh, can't move him. And now we're going to go to the inn. Alright. Alright, so this is... Alright. What is even happening? A great question, Mr. Sensual. I'm not controlling the dude. He's moving, it seems like every 2 or 3 seconds. And he goes from spot to spot, or slot. It goes from slot to slot to slot to slot. That SDF space JKL is on my keyboard. So I can flip those individually by pressing those keys on the keyboard. He's marching no matter what you're doing. So you have your health, which is the red things, and you have your shield, your armor, which is the blue thing. I assume that you don't take health damage until you're out of armor, but it seems like you can heal both, so I don't know what the benefit of, other than it being like two forms of health, I don't know what the benefit to it is. Right? Like I don't know what you're looking for as far as why would you want armor and not red health versus armor? And as you march back and forth, it fills up. You can stop on enemies and they drop gold. And I guess occasionally they take help. It's slot managing, yeah. And you're kind of basically almost like plotting out your next couple moves. So if you think about it from the perspective of you have 7 moves, right? So after we do this in theory, the next thing we do is whatever this one skull is, then the chest, then the small flaming skull, that's a 3, and then the 2 big flaming skulls. Something like Luck Be a Landlord. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can kind of see that. So at least what I'm doing right now is juggling mentally. All right, what's my next couple steps look like versus what do I have? So that seems to be the game. It's starting to get slightly stressful. This walk versus run, maybe I need to hold down shift. Will that slow my ass down, or am I already at slow? If I'm already at slow, fuck, man. We might be in trouble. All right. Do you want to take some rest? Why would I? So, stay and restore all your health and your... Well, we're not really hurt. Nap on the couch. We're not really hurt. So, no, we're good. Yeah, we don't... I'm not going to give you any money. Alright, so it has to be an enemy. Yes. We want treasure. I said yes. Alright, so we got this level 2 Ring of Focus increases our crit to 7. Or increase our blood pack to 2. We haven't been taking much damage yet. So crits always seem good, so we like crits. Can we get rid of these dudes? We can get rid of them. Potion. Heal. Alright. Let's see if we can get to heal on here. We slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down. Alright. So, we need armor. Armor. Looking on J, armor. K, armor. Alright, cool. Got enough gold. And then we come back, we gotta look at health. So, yes. Alright, so what do we got here? Slows your speed, your movement speed. Yes. That's an interesting dynamic. It's the first game I've played in a while where I'm like, holy shit, I can't wait to get a power up to slow my speed down. Eyes grow larger, you can now detect mimics. So there's going to be mimics in this game, so I guess that's where you'll pick a health or you'll pick a potion. And it's actually an enemy the whole time. Let's go ahead, let's slow. Slow seems good. Shield. Health. Alright. Alright, we don't want to just only not fight dudes. Alright. So we got our shield, and we'll start fighting the dudes again. Actually, let's see if we can take a... Is there a stronger dude here? No, we'll just poison ourselves. Alright. Now we'll go through and fight all those fucking dudes. Yes. Why would I not want to open a chest? Alright, so what is our Wolverine clause we got here to the left? Berserker Gauntlet increases critical rate to 20% when your health is equal to or less than 1. Okay. Alternatively, increases our blood level to 2. Sure. Let's take the Berserker Gauntlets. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, let's go fight through all of these dudes. All of these dudes. We don't want the poison on the way back. And we died, apparently. Alright, cool. So, I don't know why we died, but we did. Results. You were 99 steps, 95 golds, 30 monsters. Hunter, you fought mostly monsters. What's my alternative? Ooh, we've unlocked a football helmet. Skulls do damage. Ah. The skulls do damage. Okay. Alright. So that's... I was going to say, I don't know why I wouldn't want to just run into the dudes. That's the main reason why. Graphically, I like the style of this. I'm struggling to position it exactly what it is. There's degrees of Engi? There's degrees of Engi? Graphically, it's very interesting. I like the hard specular highlight on it. Might remind me of, what was that, the most recent version of Zelda the Minish Cap? Is that what I'm thinking of? My wife played through it. But the hard plastic shiny specular highlight, really nice. It's good. It's a nice variation from where I probably would have guessed they would have went with, be sort of a pixely dot, right? 8-bit, 16-bit pixely style. This is nice. This is aesthetically pleasing. Hey, you're here again. That means your adventure wasn't very enjoyable, huh? Accurate. Hi, where am I? Dying is part of the game. It's a village. If people live this deep underground, we have to live somewhere. What can I do here? You can prepare for your next journey by spending gold. This is my item shop. You can give me gold and I give you something. Simple. We have a special discount in the village here, so buy a lot. This is the forge. You can upgrade your equipment here. This is the bar. I don't recommend heading to the dungeon while drunk, but sometimes it can be fun. Every drink has its own buffs. You might want to try something. Okay, so we're not even dead. And then the well when you start. Before you go inside the well, you'll lose all your gold, so spend as much as you can. Okay. So that's why we wouldn't want to buy upgrades, is you carry the money into town. I was wondering, yeah, why wouldn't I want to get this chest? It's because you don't get to keep, you get to spend the money in town, and you don't keep your equipment. Alright. So let's start with his shop. What's the story? Yes, item shop. So I guess this is our blood bag, right? Shoulder armor. Okay, so that's the shoulder the armor equivalent of the blood bag. Spider slot appears in a slot and interrupts your movement once. I see the benefit of that now to slow you down. Berserker Gauntlet. Shield of Brave. It restores 1 after every 7 battles. Enhances your critical rate for 5 when you have... Now, we don't have really enough to buy anything, so that doesn't matter. What's the blacksmith story? I'm guessing the blacksmith is even more expensive, right? Who's this? The library. Oh, okay. Exactly what you think it is, Blaine. Again, look at the nice artwork. Look at the style on this. I dig the style. It has a lot of it. Okay, these are just this is our bestiary, our unlocks, right? Alright. Again, this feels so much like a Japanese Mahjong game. It's unbelievable. Now, in fairness, the last time we were in Japan, the Mahjong games I played were mostly touchscreens, but I have played in the past where they have, the big fuck off, whatever, 16 button boards, and you're sitting there, A through whatever whatever it is, M, right, or whatever it is. All right, what's the booze story? Whiskey. Whiskey does what? Soju. So this is a Korean game. Got it. Apple juice. Cocktail. Cocktails? Sparkling water. Good old-fashioned beer. When in doubt, your movement speed has been slowed. Accurate. I did crossbows at the Renaissance Festival after visiting the mead tent. It was probably not the best plan. Like, I could tell that if I were to ever accidentally shoot a carny dressed up like a pirate, that would have been the moment. So I was being overly cautious with, I'm going to put this crossbow down and step back while the dude is doing the thing. Why do you keep walking in front of me? So I probably took forever. I'm like, I'm going to put this down. I need to have no one in front of me when I'm aiming this thing down range because I don't trust me per se. Ooh, interesting graphic glitches going on. So let's move out of this town before the game gets thoroughly pissed off. This is a demo, right? The game is not even out yet. So all right, so we can actually play. Okay, let's play. All right, so if you, at least for the start, you get a chance to really plot your moves. So these take 1 health, is what we're saying, but they drop gold. So we'd be down 4 health. Let's see if we can make those healths. Can we heal? Or no, those are all broken shield. All enemies. Got ops everywhere. Okay. Alright, so there's nothing for it. Just, I guess now we'll die, because none of these are heals. Okay, now it'll let me pick a shield. So I guess I just get started. Alright, do something about that snake. Do something about that poison. Do something about this. Yep. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, that's fine. I don't want to deal with that snake. They're going to make me. Broken shield. Turn a corner, I'm fine with this. This looks good. And actually, if they're going to make me fight a snake, I'd rather fight a snake at L. Will they give me a snake? There. We'll do this. 1, 2. Fight your snake. Turn around. And we got portals. Now we're thinking with portals. Alright. So that intentionally fucks up your pattern. Great. Shield. We have more than enough money for what's in the chest. Alright. Yes. Let's start. What's in there? What's in our chest? Sorry I'm not home right now. I'm walking into spider webs. Right? So don't... Yep. Alright, we're good. I like the look of that. Shield, shield, chest. And then we're going to turn around. We have to do something about all these enemies. Way too many enemies. Way too many enemies. Get to 2 for 1. Let's try that. We didn't have that before. Get your heal. And then 5 damage. That's going to be fine. 1. So if you crit them, they don't hurt you at all, I guess is the case. Alright, we need to get heals. So what's underneath D? So D's now covered with a cloth. Alright, what are my options here? 3 for 2 shield. Get 1 bonus. Okay, and what's the other one? 2B. Gives 1 bonus after getting a cracked shield in a row. Okay, so one is 2 for 3, and one's 1 for 2, even one is cracked. The cracked one. Alright. Heal. Shield. Coins. Alright. Get some more shields coming back. Heal is fine. Alright. Hello! Refreshing drinks we have. Also non-alcoholic is available. What happened to my beer? Yeah, no, I want that beer. Slow my shit down. Yes. Yes! Slow everything down. Shield. Yep, don't have enough gold. Shield. Alright. Mouse, shield, mouse, shield. It seems like a good pattern if you can get into it. Have to go to work. Have fun. Thank you, Mr. Central. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day. Well, no, we will not open this chest. We're going to hold on to our money here. Alright. Alright. So heal, shield, right? Oh, fuck. Alright. So the brick wall did us in, I guess? 88 steps, 210 golds. Tanker, you collected more shields than potions. Alright. And now we unlock 10% chance to store 1 heart at the L slot. The Necklace of Heart. Oh, shit. We also unlocked Blazing Boots. Leaves a trail of fire, which lowers monster damage. 96 steps. Okay, so it seems like each run you're unlocking something new. So that's nice. They're going to keep you on your toes. Alright. So now we have a little bit more money. Can we get something at the shop? Intentionally didn't buy shit. Oh, I was hoping to get the football helmet. What's this? Splash attack. For 5% chance you can attack monsters in slots adjacent to... Yeah, let's grab a blood pack and head on out. Alright, so then we could then come to the blacksmith. Got it. Alright, so you get your base item from the shop, and the blacksmith will let you level it up further. I don't know if we have enough to get a beer. We have enough to get a beer. Dude, let's go. Let's start adventuring. Hey, you're doing good. So you know what's happening here, right? Kinda. Yeah, the weird graphical glitches. That's not the stream. That's how what I'm seeing in the game as well. This little, I don't know what the story on that is. You're doing good. What's happening, right? I think I can tell you more. There is a secret in the item chest. Huh? What? There's still more? You can pick 7 items before you enter the dungeon. Sorry, the dungeon. Hilarious. Thank you for that. Thank you. Wait, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'll give you all the items you picked right away. So when you open the item chest, 2 items will come out, right? From now on, one of the items will be the 7, so it's kind of like an on-demand system. Okay, got it. As you explore the dungeon, equip new items will also be added to the order form. So I think it says filling out an initial order form. Okay, got it. What do I do next? It's simple. Look at the items you've unlocked in the dungeon and choose any 7 you want. If you get something unpredictable fun, you could just choose randomly. I probably will just choose randomly. Like right now, I don't know enough. Right? Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna do random and then hop in, right? Like, fuck it. Yep, looks good to me. Alright. Work our way backwards. So it doesn't look like it's going to really let you set up things too heavily to start. We definitely want 1 health because we got a bonus empty heart. Fight a couple mice. 3 mice. 5 mice. 4 mice and a heal. Alright, let's get going. Okay, so you tap shift to alternate between the 2 of them. Alright, so you can press... Oh, okay, you can press multiple at once. But good luck trying to keep track of that shit. Oh, fuck's sake. Alright. Couple heals. So I need to be looking around the corner as we start to come back. No, leave it alone. We're just gonna do a pure money run here. We don't care if we survive. We just want money. All right, so there's probably some strategy to hitting like all three at once and then refining it. Right? Okay, like that shit. Alright, so sometimes they get covered up and you gotta cycle through them to clear them. No, pure money run. Pure money run. That's all we're doing is money. Alright. Have to fight the mouse. Alright, heal up, heavy duty. Head back to the village. Alright. So, there's something to be said for you have to be like... You can't be sending her a key at a time, because... I'll be honest, first thing, I'm not even remotely paying attention to what my... Like, where my health is, because I'm too busy looking at the dudes I gotta line up against. So, I'm focusing entirely on that row of 7 and focusing on pressing the keys and not really looking up to see how much health I have. Until I get to the point where, like, all right, this seems safe. Now, how many do I need? And then work through it. Pressing one key at a time is a fool's errand. So if you're looking ahead and you're seeing, like, enemy, 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 yeah, it's just all at once. Like cording. Like, you'll start cording these keys together, like, you know, JKL. Flip them all. Okay, well, 2 of them flip to green. Great. We'll flip the other one to whatever you need, and then look to see what USP needs for us heals. It's an interesting dynamic. I don't know of any game that I've played like this before. It's not, there's an element of speed to it, but it's not necessarily about being fast. It's about being precise. Because if you accidentally, that's a heart, and you bump that one by accident, oh, now it's an enemy, and you might not be able to get back in time. No, we are completely healed up. Completely healed. I don't know why we're moving backwards. I don't know what caused that to happen. What would be good? Heal. Heal. No, pure money run. We are only getting money here. Alright, turn around. Shit, should have left it the way it was. No. Pure money run. Pure money run. Shit. Alright, that looks good. Nope. We're holding all of our cash. Alright, I'm starting to get the hang of this. I don't know how well I can narrate or commentate what I'm doing, but it is very much what I was saying, like, of Finding the keys that you have to press together until they become something that is not going to kill you. Right? And then just slowly cycle through it. Kind of plan ahead. And sometimes they do lock it, so you have to take what they're giving you. Pure money run. No, don't buy nothing. Alright, shield up, and now we're going to the wizard, the potion? What's happening here? Potionman! Welcome to my alchemy lab. I can downgrade your potion for 70. It's weaker, but appears more frequently. Well, no. Like, how was it? It's going to heal 1 heart instead, I guess? Nah, we're good. So right now, like, you unlock shit by just getting steps. So there's no reason not to just... I guess there'll be mimics occasionally. Just clear the road of enemies when possible. It's gonna let me. Warning! Wizard has appeared. I like that artwork. That's a cool sketch. I don't know what anything... So these are damages? I can't undo that, so we're just gonna accept it. Should have stuck with the potion. Potion was fine. Alright. Heal. Heal. Fuck you, wizard. Victory! Alright, we'll make our way back, I guess. And is this like a free treasure chest? I'm not trying to spend any money. Activates an invincible barrier after 15 moves. The invincible helm. Cool. Sacrifice your item to go down. Huh? Which item? Sacrifice your item. Oh, and that's it. That's the demo. RP7. Summer 2024. Early access on Steam. Alright. That seems... interesting. Again, to kind of circle back, I'm really into the art style. I like the way that looks. I like the shiny, plasticky, Playmobil, Tonka toy aesthetic. I don't know what was up with that weird sort of glitch thing happening. That was interesting. Presumably that's like a rough spot that they got to kind of wax out the edges on. If they're saying it's a roguelike, yes. It's a roguelike because you have items that you unlock. So playing and dying, right? Roguelikes to me, you want to define a roguelike. A modern roguelike, not necessarily the original Rogue, but a modern roguelike tends to be play and die, and then, hey, we're going to make it a little bit easier for you next time, right? Start with nothing, go through, all right, well, you died, but you actually unlocked this thing. And this thing is a little bit more powerful than what you had. And next time you play through, maybe you'll get that thing, and then maybe you'll be a little bit better. Right? So we've been playing a lot of The Binding Isaac, and that's how that works, right? You play through, and like this thing now appears in the basement. Now, Rubber Cement is now in the basement. You can shoot bouncy tears because we know that's a little bit stronger. And the game has a push, right? Where it's like, hey, we're going to push you forward by giving you a slightly stronger item. It has a pull, and now the enemies are tougher, right? So it's that push and pull dynamic for a modern roguelike is we're going to give you a little bit more, and we're going to take a little bit back. And it's also that back and forth. What The Binding of Isaac is where it partially hangs its hat on is the weird combination and interplay and synergies of items. I don't think this would have any... as I knocked the controller on the floor. I don't think this would have. I don't think this would have anything quite like that. I don't know yet. Maybe it would, but it's certainly an interesting concept. They were referring to it as a slot machine. I don't know. I don't know if I quite see it that way. I'm not saying it definitely isn't. Try to get that play date ready here. It's like an arcade mahjong game to me. That's what it looks like to me. Is like an arcade mahjong game. Let's see if I can make this happen. So I would be interested in playing more of it. Of the roguelike games that are kind of mashing itself into gambling games, thanks to, in no small part, Balatro. I feel like it's a pretty good one of those. Bingle was a slot machine, and that one was kind of interesting. Moving the different slots you had on the wheel. There was a roulette wheel, excuse me. Little slots you had on the wheel and the different types of balls, and the balls would do different things. The balls would get bigger. That was really interesting. Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers is a blackjack game. That one seemed to almost exclusively get by on your adding cards to the deck, right? And some of the cards were really fascinating. I remember, maybe even broken. You could look at one of the old streams, but I remember basically finishing with getting like a pocket knife, like a credit card knife, and then using the credit card knife just to kill dudes. That was it. And then Balatro is the best one of them all, right? Like with the different decks and different cards. Balatro is the best one of this. This one doesn't quite feel like that. And not in a negative way, because it doesn't seem like there's that much of a random element. Yes, the things that are coming up are random. The shit that's coming up on the screen is in your little slots is random. But if you're fast enough and you have better reflexes, I mean, you might be able to just to clear it out pretty quickly, right? And get it into place. And all that time, I was sitting there talking and meandering. I was able to get the playdate updated by the game I was looking to get. Hopefully, it will download quickly. It looks like it's going to. And if not, we'll talk about the playdate as I get this shit ready. But we're gonna try to get this onto the stream, so we're gonna do this real quick. So that's RP7. I'd be interested in playing it a little bit more when it comes out in the full. It was supposed to come out last week, but apparently it's just not out yet. But yeah, it certainly seemed interesting. Let me hide the banner for that so people don't get confused on what it is. And let's see if we can change. I don't know what to change the stream category to. I don't know if it's a bad form to make this just chatting. Is it? Because it's not going to be any one particular game. And like, what has it been 2 years in? Let's put it there. Yeah, we'll make that. And let me see if I can actually get this up and running. I think I can. So if we choose new window capture, and there it goes. What could be simpler? All right. So talk. I mean, that's not gonna. Oh, let's go do what it is. Okay. So talk about the playdate. I don't know if you're familiar with the playdate, but the playdate is this. I'm tethered at the moment, so here you go. Here's your playdate. I have the optional additional screen cover. But it's a little yellow game device. it has two very unique features. Well, I hate qualifying unique. I should stop doing that. It has two unique features. Either something's unique or it isn't. You have to qualify it. One is this jaunty little crank here, right? You can see on the on screen emulator, it's showing you when I'm turning the crank. It doesn't seem like it's 1,000% accurate, like a 1-to-1. And two, it actually has an e-ink screen. It is non-lit in any way, shape, or form. It's a high resolution. It's black and white. It's not grayscale. It is purely black and white, but a really nice high resolution. So it's kind of like playing games on like the world's best Kindle. Better than it sounds. It's more interesting aesthetically than it sounds. So the game, I got it when I ordered when it came out. First thing, and then they released it in seasons. So you had a pre-order, and the idea was once a week they would release a game on it. So you play for the device, and that was it, and the games came with it. So every Friday or whatever, they would download a new game, and you'd have a whole week to play that game, and then and here's your next game to play, right? And they would and they ran the gamut from, all different types, like, different like sports or, kind of like a little adventure game, a little bit of actiony games, and each thing. And then people started making a lot of games for it on itch.io. I kind of fell off of it maybe about a year and a half ago. Right around the time I got the Analog Pocket, that sort of became what I put a lot of my attention into, and then I kind of fell off of that as well. So I'm not being very good with playing either of them. But there's been a lot of very interesting one-off, and I keep seeing more and more games in here that they're really trying to leverage the crank. And I don't know, I just decided, like, all right, I'm going to start integrating this back into my life. So yeah, we'll try a little bit of, I don't know if it can register. You see all my button presses with this? The B and A? Oh, you do see the B and the A. Got it. Okay, cool. And now it's mad. And now it's not mad anymore. After the season 1, because they were like little, I'll scroll through here, blah, blah, blah. So these are all stuff I downloaded, right? So you had Whitewater Wipeout. Was like the first game that you got. And this is like the California Games surfing, right? Where you're just controlling it with the crank. And then you direct yourself, oh shit. No button presses. It's all on how you land. And then Wipeout, right? And it's a high score game, right? Crank that thing, Soldier Boy style. And it's very much about feeling it in a way that, like, even an analog joystick doesn't feel this good. It's really interesting. There was a period of time there where you had arcade games and all kind of different shit with control types to be unique, I can't stop saying unique, to be different, right? Like, and it's kind of a throwback to that. It reminds me of like the mid to late 80s arcade games where it's like everything had like its own special controller and you couldn't replicate it at home. Try doing a 360. Yeah, I know. I'm just bad. So then you have your that's my high score, and then you got the global rankings. How do I compare to the rest of the globe? I don't even know if this audio is coming through. Is it? It might not be. I have no idea. You guys might not be hearing the audio now I think about it. How about now? Alright, definitely now you're definitely getting it. Okay. So I'll rewind it just so you can hear a little bit of the audio. But it's good audio. I'm sitting there bobbing my head to nothing. Alright. And then a lot of the games were basically like, they announced the dev kit. And then, hey, who wants to make games for these? And then a lot of people signed up. So Bennett Foddy from Getting Over It. Bennett Foddy's Getting Over It. Right? He made a game. And then Lucas Pope eventually made a game, which I might get into here. He of Papers, Please. And, well, a variety of other games. Yeah, alright, so. Well, it's going to do it each time, huh? It's going to make that noise for me. Casual Birder, which was my favorite game of the ones I played. It's almost like a Pokemon-like photography adventure game. Like, I don't know how to quite phrase it, but it was really great audio, fantastic music. And yeah, and you would basically take photos of these birds that were kind of non-existent, and you had to like kind of unlock them through puzzles and stuff. It's kind of an exploratory thing. It was really cool. Spoiler alert, like I obviously beat this some time ago. Right? Whoa. But, you know, you'd use this part to focus your photographs, right? Paperweight, thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna say hello to Paperweight. No, I'm covering up Paperweight's thing. That is inappropriate. You gotta move that down. Where's... There it goes. Hello, Paperweight, thank you for stopping by. Oh, shit. As I break stuff. But there you go. Now you're getting a rough view of the game. Paperweight, how was your stream? Paperweight, I assume, was playing our good friend, The Binding of Isaac. Probably doing the daily. But yeah, so, and you had your control to help. You could take photos of the birds. And people would get mad at you. But this was my favorite one. Like, I enjoyed that the most of all of them. I thought that had a lot of charm. It was really fun to play through. This is the one that got a lot of publicity. Was it the great stream today? A couple wins and hit 50 followers. Congratulations, Paperweight, hitting 50 followers. It's a big milestone. I know you were looking forward to getting that. I'm proud of you. I'm glad it worked. It's very exciting. The Paperweight age has begun. This is Kranken's Time Adventure, which is exclusively controlled by the... I know people have seen this. You control it only with this little crank, and you have to get to your date on time. It's interesting. It's kind of like a puzzle game. So like we want to jump over these little hunks of shit. So you got to like... And then your cranky girlfriend is upset at you. So, like, this will let you jump over them, right? Jump over him. And then, in theory, you have to find something that's going to make you animate to get under the bird. It's a cool concept. I didn't really enjoy playing it a ton. But, yeah, Paperweight, I'm very glad to hear that. What we're doing right now, Paperweight, is I played through the RP7 demo, figuring it might be short, and turned out to be really short. So, I've hooked up my Playdate. So try to get used to streaming that, which is this device here if you've never seen one before. And look through some of the newer games that I've seen come out that I was really interested in. So these are all the games that you kind of got by default. Demon Quest 85 was really cool. Little RPG, pick and pack pup. Flipper Lifter, Anoic Memory. This is Zipper by Bennett Foddy, more of an action game. Executive Golf. Some of these I actually never got around to playing because I did kind of stop playing at a certain point. So they just unlocked them all for me. So I've never played Snake or Sasquatches. I don't think I've played Spellcorked at all. Good animation on that. Battleship Godios. Forest Burns, Up in Smoke. I have no idea what that is. Ratcheteer I did play a little bit of. The Ratcheteer was an interesting one. They do have, that's season 1, they do have subsequent seasons. But they also had games that you could just buy and install on your own. So I got a lot of these from itch.io. Shining Gadget is one of the most impressive, like, independent things I've ever seen. As far as a game is concerned, it's very light on being a game. There's not a lot of game to it. But it's theoretically, it's kind of like a weird mishmash of Boktai for the Game Boy Advance. Bennett Foddy, yeah, getting over it. That's exactly that. Boktai for the Game Boy Advance, one where you actually have to take it out into the sunlight. And Pokemon, you're catching ghosts. And it's the way you hold the device and the way you crank it. There's all kind of like weird little interactions, but it's basically a little more than you're kind of you're not moving around a character in the game at all. It's just the device is telling you know there's a ghost nearby and you catch the ghost. But the production values on it are fantastic. I've never been able to place this dude's accent, but I fucking love it. There's a whole other back end system. It's Asian. Welcome to Shining Gadget. Is it Korean or Japanese? Is it Norwegian? Like what the hell is it? The artwork is phenomenal. Yep, Ghost Detective. Yes, engage the ghost. Right. So, and so it's a combination of like how I'm tilting the device. You can't see it, but see the X and the Y. I'm tilting the device to get it in position, and then you crank to capture it. Right, you got to go back and forth here. You got to kind of reel in him. This now or never. Like, what is his accent? It's like a fishing game, right? You want to keep it in the little dot. Once I catch this, that'll be basically... And that's basically the game, right? Like, there's not a lot more to it than that, other than doing that of laying it kind of flat and cranking it. And then you get, like, this unique ID associated with every ghost. And there's a PC, like a PC application you can run that will let you trade ghosts with friends, and you can go buy them. You could go, they have event codes, and you get all these codes you can put in for, like, specific events. It's a really ambitious project, and a lot of these ghosts are very interesting to look at. Squatcho, rarely spotted ghost, enjoys terrifying mortals out in the wilderness, right? And I had a couple of these were like Halloween special ones I got. I didn't play a ton of it, but it has so much heart. It has way more like heart to it. Last Straw, right? I think that was an event one. I got that 2 years ago. Way more heart from like a graphic, like aesthetically, like the audio. It's so well put together. I have no idea who these dudes are that did this, but and it was really early in the game coming out. It was kind of like mind blowing to me, like what they were able to do with it. Every time I go home, it does that little off and on. Obligatory Nagy crank, right? There's a lot of things like this. I'm trying not to get copyright striked, but it's deep. Wait, Ionian poker. Ionian poker. You get what it is, right? They call it Loituma Girl Playdate, right? But you crank it to find the rhythm. You know me. I crank it and find the rhythm all the time. And I get in trouble for it. Wani Pocket, Panic, Super Corporate Tax Evader. Necro Crisis, the same dudes who did this Shining Gadget. There's also multiple versions of the Shining Gadget. They have like a steel and a lead version, or I don't remember what the fuck it was. Steel and a silver version. They actually went all the way down the Pokemon rabbit hole. Necro Crisis was kind of like a shooting game. One bit a balanced brew. You play as a barista, right? On a unicycle. And it's all about using the unicycle to control your balance. So you got to lean forward. Whoop, too much and you'll fall over. Right? So it's about getting a little bit of a head. Now you're kind of like backpedaling. Okay, stay vertical, stay oriented. That's all there is. It's just the crank the whole time. I haven't played this in a couple years either, so if I actually do this, I'll be surprised. Dude, nope. Oh, no, I think I'm screwed here. Can I get myself enough? There we go. Get some forward momentum going. Hey, oh god, up and fall over. But there you go. And a lot of these are like 99 cents on itch.io. Like this, a joke that's worth 99 cents, which I have not been able to actually play and complete. So the whole game is this. You got to try and juggle this dude. So I'm going to let them sing for a little bit. They explain it to you in the song. So you got to keep juggling this dude, and I've never done it. I've never done it. And you just start hearing this joke over and over again. And it's like infuriating. Fuck. Come on. I almost got two. Okay. I like the way it changes the delivery. Like, whoever did this read made multiple passes at it. So you at least get some variations. And on three guys are sitting in a bar, right? 3 guys are sitting in a bar. Like, you're getting all the inflections available. Jesus Christ. So, like, I've gotten, like, I think 5 of them once. I think. And I don't know how many you need to get the whole joke, but I've never done it. See, I don't know. That's 4. I have no idea. But it's all done with the crank, right? It's all crank-based combat. Conquest of Helios, Yoshimi Yahtzee, Cookie Cranker, Possessions. This was a another one I just sort of stumbled across on itch. The dude who did this, I am so impressed with like what he had come up with as far as the game is concerned. I don't know, like I play a lot of games, and I don't catch all of them. I've never encountered a game that was quite like this. I think I described it as like this feels like a game that fell out of time and like we're just rediscovering. But basically, you're controlling the family in this house. Good luck with it. Thank you very much, Romani Python. Enjoy the rest of your day. But yeah, you basically are controlling the way that people are moving around the room. We'll see you. And with these little arrows, it's been a while since I played, so I'm trying to remember the exact rules behind it. But each turn, everyone sort of moves, and they go by like their interests. Like mom is, like dad's drawn to mom's drawn to like a mess, and what the kid generates messes, and you kind of move everyone around the board. It's really interesting. It doesn't necessarily use the crank, but like we can make, so mom's gonna do what? So where's mom at? So okay, so we make mom go up, and then all right, and then this +1 and -1. This is they do something. So like the boy drops stuff, right? And the mom picks up stuff. It's like that, and you basically want to get everyone into those squares to finish in those squares. And these 7 remaining turns in those states, right? So mom, you want to have to a -1. All right, am I doing this right? All right, so that picks up mom's -1. You have to clear it out. I won't lie, I don't remember. But this was, is there other instructions here? Because I'm already forgetting how that works. You have instructions in here? Where are your instructions at? Instructions. So I think I'm describing it wrong. Okay. Possessions, yep, but fiddle, okay. You are a restless spirit, wandering from home to home, possessing a residence there and messing with their relationship to however suits your goals. Yeah, okay, yeah. Your goal in each level is to alter a relationship by a given amount. At the top right of the screen, you can see the score of each relationship. In the first level, you need to get the relationship between son and dad to 4. In some levels, you have multiple goals. In order to win them, you have to satisfy some goals at a time, right? So you could drop, right? You need to utilize drops. Drops are things mortals leave in rooms. Could be good things like cookies or bad like leaving a mess. When a mortal finds another mortal's drops, the relationship between the two changes by the amount of the drops. When you're making a possession, you can make them drop a +1 or a -1. Drop stack, so making a mortal drop +1 or +1. Okay, yeah. So you basically want to pass the people through the rooms, have them alter the value of the room, those drops. It's kind of like an arbitrary, and then finish at certain values. Really fun. I had a ton of fun playing that. I spent a lot of time playing that. Enjoyed the shit out of it. Almost Tennis, exactly what you think it is. Right? You got a crank. You got a crank. You got a D-pad. You whack the ball. So, as I was playing this when it first came out, I was really enjoying it. I can't remember exactly what sort of came across, but like, we're talking, like, to talk to the developer about, like, hey, I'm surprised you didn't have the swinging down with the crank. I think he's like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. All right, I made it and patched it. It was a really interesting community to be part of. The dudes making these games on itch, because they were like really quick to respond to suggestions and change it. It was fascinating how it worked. But yeah, it's nice little artwork. It's kind of a Pong-like game. It reminds me a lot of playing Virtua Tennis on the Dreamcast, in so much as when you're playing against the computer, the real goal is to pin them into one corner and then go to the other. You get them all the way to the left and then swing it all the way to the right, which I guess is probably just how tennis is normally played. You can also hit the ball multiple times. No prohibition on that. It's like Pong meets tennis meets air hockey. Yeah. And the crank makes it very enjoyable. Like almost Wii Tennis like, where you have that additional tactile feel to it. Paging Dr. Floppy, Waste Braver was another interesting one. But the one I just got, and I don't know where it is, that I was looking forward to playing, do I have to download it? I could have swore it downloaded. This is the catalog they added. This is 00 Perfect Stop, which I could have swore I downloaded this. Oh, it's still downloading. Is it just not downloaded yet? It's a Densha Daigo game with the crank, and I really wanted to try that like live. I like Densha Daigo conceptually. What I mean by that is I've played it in the arcade a few times, and I barely understood it. And what I barely understood, I enjoyed, but I was never actually able to. Yeah, get this. Install game, please. I never played it on a home console because I always wanted. I wanted the Densha Daigo, the arcade game, right, where you're driving a train and it's controlled with like a train lever. That's like you adjust your speed on it with this lever. There was a TV show in the late '90s called Denpa Shonen, which was like the full name of the title was basically something like Next Generation Electric Youth or electric shonen is shonen anime and manga. That's like Naruto and Hunter x Hunter, Shonen Jump stuff. It's basically designed for the green years, right? So kind of young pre-teen, early adolescence, but obviously grown men like it, but it's targeted at that. So shonen refers to like kind of like a young age. So Electric Generation, and it was a reality TV show, like I think one of the first ones, and where they would just do these like weird experiments. It's part of the reason Japan got this reputation for having crazy TV shows. One of the reasons, and one of the more notable ones was Nasubi, which is eggplant. So they just basically interviewed all of these aspiring comedians, like, hey, would you like to be on a TV show on national broadcasting? And like they're like, yes, we would. And like, okay, and they picked one dude, and he called himself Nasubi because he has like a really pronounced, elongated face. He says he looks like an eggplant. And they locked this dude up in a apartment with nothing in it. Dude was butt ass naked. I think they gave him a couch cushion, a radio, and stacks of magazines and newspapers. And the whole point was, it was a theory like, hey, could you survive off of just mail-in and radio contests back when like you could do radio contests were a thing, and they have like little flyers. You'd like different sweepstakes, like no purchase necessary sweepstakes where you fill out a postcard and send it in. Like, could you live on it? And like the dude did, right? Like he had to stay there until he got like $20,000 or something crazy like that, and he just entered all day long, just filling out cards, entering, and he would just win like a variety of stuff. And after a while, they cut off his food, so he was like reliant on the food he would get. And at a certain point in time, he's like eating like dog food. It's sad, but it's interesting. It's a whole thing. And I've heard him, the actor, the comedian. This is never going to download in time. I'll keep buying time while this downloads. The actor, the comedian, kind of say both he regrets it and he doesn't regret it. I've heard him ping pong back and forth on it. I should say translations of him saying where like he didn't regret it, or yeah, he did regret it, or a little bit of each, but like he was doing it for fame. And one of the more memorable things that happened was at one point in time, this poor dude who had no clothes, very little food, and he was just entering contests just to get money. He won Densha de Go for the PlayStation with the big ass fucking plastic controller and the disc. Didn't have a PlayStation, didn't have a TV, right? Didn't have nothing. And then, spoiler alert, because you're probably not going to watch it, at a certain point in time, he actually got all three of those things together. He won a PlayStation, and he won a TV, and he's like, oh shit, I can play the game now. And this guy who'd been doing nothing but listening to the radio and filling out postcards for mail-in contests for like, at that point in time, it must have been like, he was in there for like 6 months. And they were filming him the whole time. And he was like being live streamed, like one of the first instances of being like live streamed on TV. He like did nothing but play that video game for like 3 days straight. Like he was so starved for stimuli that he just like was saucer-eyed playing Densha de Go. So that's the thing I think about most when I think about Densha de Go was Nasubi saying in their saucer-eyed. So like, yeah, I wouldn't play Densha de Go. I want to have a little controller too. Long story to get that. This download is brutal. I thought I had already downloaded, otherwise I wouldn't have started this path. So yeah, you use this, right, for the little control thing. That'd be fun. I swear to God, I thought I had downloaded this. I mean, like, I went through the process. Like, I got my card in there, did everything while I was on the stream here. Multitasking, got the card in, got it. But yeah, apparently it's not downloaded yet, so. All right. I'll give it a couple more minutes. We'll try something. I don't know if I, like, leave, it stops the download or something. But here, I'll show you a little bit of Necro Crisis. So again, again, this dude's accent, where is it from? It's like Bulgarian.
Those undead freaks won't know what hit 'em. I'll put an end to this.
Great Duke Nukem. Great pseudo Duke Nukem. Right, so we're cranking it. I don't remember how to reload. I don't know how to reload. The cat wants to get up here, though. Come on. Is it? No idea how to reload. Oh, the other direction. Crank it backwards. Yeah. So it's a very interesting mechanic to have the crank to be your shooting, right? When you have a light gun game. Again, a fantastic pseudo Duke Nukem. Cat, we call he's freaking out. Come here. Come on. Ugh. Cat tax. Just to prove he's here. Alright. Yeah, so again, most interesting accent I've ever seen. Oh, there is a motion. And you can turn off the Duke Nukem if you don't care for it, but as far as I'm concerned, that's the point. All right, does that stop downloading when I left? Is that what? what caused me problems. He wonders. So it was what, like at 18? Yeah, okay, I guess it just stops entirely. Okay, that's why. Or, I guess. I don't know. At any rate, all right. Well, maybe I'll do a little bit more of that. But I wanted to pull it out at least for a little bit. I actually wanted to check that out because I've been hearing really good things about it. Yeah, so it resets if you go to do something else. So I couldn't. I should have started that. That's my bad. In fairness to me, like I said, I haven't really touched this thing in 2 years. But I apparently should have started the download. Then we should have done RP7, and then we should have circled back to it. But I don't know. I think I'll bring it up tomorrow, just so I can finish it, so I can feel like I didn't waste too much of my time and energy saying like, hey, I want to show you this game, and then not show it. Yeah, it's if you leave this, yes, got it. You didn't say that before. I have recordings of me this is the first time it said that. So if I had known, well, doesn't matter. But I'll wrap up. I'll start to talk a little bit more about the device, and then we'll look at some more games. But the other thing I want to point out, it's by Panic, right? So Panic are the people who made them of FTP software. So they made what, Qt FTP, like the best FTP software. They just suddenly decided one day, like, what if we make a game console? And then they did. And it's designed by Teenage Engineering, who do like a lot of they can do like a lot of higher end product design. So it's like a really interesting device entirely, like from start to finish. I really did like it. I just put it down at a certain point in time, didn't pick it back up. Let's try something. Let's try this. I have no idea what this Up in Smoke is. So Forest Burns is Up in Smoke. A great name. See, look, 2021, right? Forest Burns is a fantastic name. All right, so we shovel with jump with A. Okay, we pick up a little fire badge. This dude strikes me as extremely Canadian, which I'm in favor of. So we got like a back and forth swing. A and then A is what? Oh, like a Shovel Knight pogo. Great. And then crank to crank. Which way? I'm cranking. You can see me cranking. Interesting that didn't work. Love the art style. You ain't gonna keep that puzzle piece for me. Chop the tree down. Down and beat a dig, maybe? Cool. All right. Down and dig the child out. Free the children. They got like a real Metal Slug thing going on here with saving people. Speaking of Metal Slug, get to the chopper, do it now. Yeah. The results. 2 out of 2, 1 out of 1, 4 out of 4, total A+. No S rank. So this game can only be an 8 out of 10 in my book. If you are doing a letter ranking system and you don't include an S rank or above, I don't know. I don't know how to support you. And that was it. That was just that one level. Or all right, beat a chop. Jump down the fucking fire pit. Cool. Just like that. Great. You can chop it from up top. Chop it from below. It all counts for chopping. Alright, so I guess I can't save this kid. Because of the decisions I've made, that child will now die. Well, there you go. Give me a B rank, huh? I don't blame him. I'd give me a B rank for that too. All right, and I guess each time you just choose start again. There's no like continuations. It's, I guess, part of part of the point of it's supposed to be pick up and play, right? So I do like the idea of like a platformer where it's like, there's one level, thank you. It almost encourages you to be like, all right, you're done now. Stop now. And not being a like, let's spend the rest of your time. All right, let's play another level and then another level. And let's keep playing more and more levels. It's just basically like, play this one level and then, okay, thank you. You can be done playing video games now. Who's this by? Nels Anderson. None of the names jump out at me as anyone I know, but that's probably more my failing than anyone else's. So let's do this. I'm going to show you guys, I think, what I'm going to do tomorrow. So obviously that one Densha Did They Go game. And now that I know that I have to, how long it takes to download this shit. The other thing I was excited about is Mars After Midnight by Lucas Pope. So Lucas Pope, you have to crank to buy it. There you go. But we're not going to be able to download it right now anyways. Lucas Pope, he of Papers, Please, right? So he made a game where my understanding is it's basically anger management, right? It's called what, Mars After Midnight. It's an anger, and you have to like man the door, and he has all of the development, or I shouldn't say all of it, a significant amount of the development tracked on his itch.io, where he talks about the animation and the font work, and the sound design and the animation, and he gets into like a really great deal of detail in it to the point where like I became very excited for the game. I don't know when it actually came out, but I was watching it and I was only where it became available today, so it must have come out months ago and I just didn't notice. But I also want to get into this, so I've purchased it, right? So looking forward to getting it, but it's gonna download when it's gonna download, right? There's not much I can do about that. So we'll get that downloaded. In the meantime, since RP7 is not out yet, we do have a couple other games sort of scheduled up. I'm gonna slide in a couple of the Playdate games. I'll update the calendar. I really did just make that decision first thing this morning because I thought for certain RP7 is not fully out yet. I thought we could at least use the demo of Super Tax City. You try it out yourself. You can't download it through Steam. Like it looks like you can, but it doesn't work. So that, with that being a kind of a bullet in my plans, the next thing we would be looking at is Mirage Feathers, which is like a Space Harrier type game, and then we'd have a ton of time in between there as well. So Mars After Midnight and what is it? Zero Perfect Stop. I should know the name of the game. I got it. Playdate games. We'll check those out in the meantime as well. We'll get into those certainly. Last couple things we'll start to cover as I start to begin to wrap up. Finally, Paperweight hit his 50 followers. Very excited for him. I'm also over my 50 as well. So hopefully that's going to start like unlocking stuff for me in Twitch. I don't know. I just got notifications like, hey, congratulations. You know, you've hit whatever arbitrary guidelines we set up. So I'll explore to figure out what that stuff is. I'd like to be able to do like emoticons, like, or emojis for the chat, like ones that I've drawn. I'd like to be able to do that. I don't know how most of the stuff works, like bits and stuff. I don't know. I want to say I don't know. I don't care. But if there's something cool that can be done, I just, you know, I'll probably wind up trying to do it myself in like Streamlabs. And I've seen people like do like, oh, this is really neat. Like you can throw tomatoes at the screen or whatever. Interesting. But yeah, we'll have to see what that unfolds. So like, if you guys ever have any suggestions about stuff I should do, let me know. I do have a suggestion box on the About page. Don't be afraid to put anything in there. So far, no one has put anything in there. So, but hey, do not be shy. I'd be happy to have a look at that stuff. But on that note, we'll start to do my little wrap up. We have plenty of people watching, so I'll probably pass us over to someone else who's streaming. I didn't do any Binding of Isaac today. I know a lot of times you guys like Binding of Isaac. I might just kick us over to just someone else who's streaming somewhat, like, I don't want to say randomly, but, you know, just see what looks like doesn't have a lot of people, and then we'll jump over there because that seems like a nice, fun thing to do. But But other than that, let us give a big thank you, Mr. Sensual. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for kicking down the door. The Real Money Python, thank you as well for coming in early. Jed Levy, thank you for coming as well. And Paperweight, as always, thank you for stopping by. I'm glad to hear your stream went well. Again, everyone follow Paperweight. We love Paperweight. It has a wonderful stream. If you like The Binding of Isaac, it's fantastic to watch. He's very good at it. And also it's a lot more, I think it's a lot more well thought out than mine, whereas I'm sort of very haphazard. So feel free to stop by and see Paperweight. One day I'm going to convince him that we'll do joint streams on something. We'll find a game where we can both commentate. I feel like it'd be a nice point and counterpoint. He's got a little bit of yin to my yang, and I think that's probably for the best. But other than that, I'd like to thank everyone else who's watching. I'd like to thank you for watching. You could have done anything in the world. You could have played video games yourself. Could have watched someone else play video games. You could have done something utterly unrelated to video games. You could have watched something such as we're reaching Black Books. You could have watched Black Books. Dylan Moran's wonderful TV series on the BBC ran, must have been 20 years ago at this point inside. Bill Bailey and the chick whose name I never remember. I'd know it as soon as I heard it, but that one, the short hair. She's hilarious in it too. I can't remember her name. But Bernard Black, Irish bookstore owner who's no interest in selling books. And the wacky adventures they get into. It's hilarious. It's fantastic. Dylan Moran is a genius, and that's an excellent illustration of it. And it being, a British TV series, 12 episodes or whatever. It's not a lot. It's not a hard one to get through. But thoroughly enjoyed that. But you didn't watch Black Books. Instead, you watched me play video games and try to download shit onto a e-ink crank device. I may never understand why you made a decision, but I appreciate you making a decision nonetheless. To everyone who wasn't watching, I'd like to thank you for not watching as well. I appreciate when people don't watch me, because I appreciate when people leave me the fuck alone. Let's start a raid. All right, who can we raid? Who is smaller? Who doesn't have many viewers? Who speaks English? Speaks English. Not a lot of viewers. Small. Those are our criteria, right? I mean, these people all have hundreds and 610. Like, what am I going to be doing giving you a handful of people, right? Someone would appreciate it if they didn't have very many. Similar or smaller size. I love how it's like, yo, no one's smaller than you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, gamers. That's kind of a dick thing. All right. All right, fuck it. I know we have a lot of people who watch Isaac, so we'll just go grab a random Binding of Isaac's player. English, single player, shooter, Repentance of Isaac. Craptor 12. That sounds promising. So we'll all go visit Craptor 12. All right, hope everyone has a good day. Peace out and deuces. See you out there. Be safe. Try the